It is absolutely humongous with all the games going on this week. So it starts tonight with Leeds at home to Burnley. Saturday is West Ham away to Brentford. Sunday is Villa at home to Spurs. And then on Monday, it is Chelsea at home to Nottingham Forest. So every day for the whole weekend, going into Monday, there's a game that influences the relegation battle. Obviously, Leeds, if they win, which they most likely will, they'll be out of it. They'll be safe. So you can count them out. But yeah, it does look at this moment in time that it's between West Ham and Tottenham. It looks as though probably a bit too much to do to catch Nottingham Forest. However, if West Ham or Spurs get the 3 points this weekend and Nottingham Forest don't, then that drags them back into it for the final 3 games of the season.
If we win and they lose, they're back in it 'cause there's only 2 points. You can't say they're out of it, and they've still got the Europa League fixtures at the moment. Obviously, second leg, they're up 1-0. It's still very tight, so they obviously can't take either of those legs for granted. So, and they've got difficult games. Arguably, they got the hardest game. Well, them or West Ham, but they have hard games left. They don't have any easy games left.
I mean, we do have Chelsea and Villa away.
Yeah, we do, but we also have Leeds and Everton's not easy. But look, they're not easy either.
Nobody has an easy game.
No one has easy games. Everyone has difficult games. So if the gap is 2 points, you got to say they're bang in it. Like that's one game. They're one game away from being dropped into the relegation zone. So. Yeah, they could definitely be dragged back into it this weekend. But if we don't beat Villa, even if they lose to Chelsea, you got to say it's pretty much done. Because 5 points with 3 games to go, I can't see us overdoing that. I can't. But you just got to keep going until it's mathematically impossible, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a high chance Forest do drop points this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
3 days before the semi-final, they are 1-0 up going into it. It's so thin in balance in terms of between Villa and Nottingham Forest, and I think that result last night in the Europa League is massive for Spurs because it means Villa, they need to put full focus on that second leg. They go into it 1-0 behind, Villa Park, massive second leg still to come. There's a narrative going in with Villa fans that I've seen online that are saying, from a Villa fan, I want Villa to lose to Spurs. So that means that Nottingham Forest are 2 points ahead of Spurs going into that Monday night game. So they have to go full throttle in that Monday night game, which will obviously impact the game on Thursday night. What do you make out of that?
I mean, from a Villa fan's perspective, it kind of makes a lot of sense. It's within their interest to lose the game and rest everyone and give Tottenham an advantage because of how it affects Nottingham Forest, and it heightens the pressure, and it means they can't just take it easy, or they can't rest players in that Chelsea game, and that obviously plays into Villa's hands on Thursday. So I've seen this narrative. Obviously, I don't think they're going to criticise Emery if he plays a strong team on Sunday, but I do find it interesting that there's and maybe subconsciously it can play within the Villa camp, because when you think about if Villa do lose to us, that could actually help them rather than hinder them. And actually,
the reality is Champions League for them through the league is pretty much done.
Yeah,
They've got Burnley next week as well.
And the only real competition is Brighton. Who do they have this weekend? They play Newcastle away, not a guaranteed win. So let's say Brighton drop points on the Saturday, because they're playing on the Saturday, aren't they? So if they drop points, that would put them, if they lose that game, let's say, that would put Villa 8 points clear, with Brighton only having 3 games left. So that means they need like a point to seal top 5. In that situation, they are very, very comfortable. They're already pretty comfortable. At that situation, they're pretty much there already in Champions League. So from that point of view, full focus can be on trying to win a trophy and trying to bring glory. And obviously, Unai Emery has a brilliant track record and a brilliant history in that competition. So I'm sure he would absolutely love to win it again. So if that helps them, and they already lost, by the way, on Thursday, Onana to injury. So that's already quite a big player for them. So will they want to risk losing even more players to injury ahead of that second leg? So will they rest players again on Sunday to avoid having any more injuries in what's a massive game on Thursday? And if we do win, it just does heap the pressure on Forest. So anything that can play into their hands should. I'm not saying, look, no team loses on purpose, but subconsciously, if we are winning and they've rested a few players, will it subconsciously, like, in their minds be like, okay, we this game. Let's just move on from this game. We've lost it, and let's just move on to Thursday, which is a big game. Well, they'll have half an hour on Thursday.
Aston Villa should be approaching this game the way Spurs approached the majority of their league games at the back end of last season. That is the way it should be working out. Because Aston Villa, like I said, pretty much home and hosed in the league. This game on Thursday night is like the biggest game in their recent history. Biggest game since they were last in European finals all those years ago in the 80s, wherever it was. Like, don't underestimate how big this is for Aston Villa. This is mental how big this is. So they really should be focusing more on that than this game. And Unai, got to play a team of kids, mate. You got to play a team of kids. It's the only way. We rested all our players when we went to Villa Park last season at the back end. So it's time to return the favour, Mr. Unai Emery. Come on.
I think you're spot on. Absolutely spot on. I think they should do it, and I think Villa fans should push the narrative.
I've seen them pushing the narrative. I've seen them doing it.
Not enough. Let's get who was the Prime Minister who was a Villa fan? Was it Cameron?
Yeah.
Get David Cameron making statements. Get him on board.
The Prince is Prince William.
Get Prince William. Get him making public statements saying Unai Emery must rest all players. Make it an official decree.
Yeah, I
from the
think
royal
so.
family.
I think so. But look, regardless of all that, we are coming up against a team that is banging form right now, particularly at Villa Park.
Yeah.
They are winning game after game. Spurs not doing great on the road. I would say, though, we're not doing great on the road. We just won our last game, 118 days in the making. Our last two out of our last 3 away games, we picked up 4 points. Gone to Anfield and got a point. We lost to Sunderland, which, from a mad deflection, and, if you draw that game, no one's batting an eyelid. So we've actually done all right in the 2 out of the last 3 games. Picked up 4 points.
Well, there's always been a bit of a narrative that we're better this season, especially that we're better away from home than we are at home, which is not even a narrative. It's just true, isn't it? When you look at the results, we still haven't won at home. Sorry, we still haven't won at home since November. So clearly, there's something about our away forms this season. But look, Sunderland we didn't play especially well. Liverpool, obviously, we fought pretty well to get that point. And Wolves, again, we didn't play especially well, but we got the win. And we scrapped, we fought, and we just got over the line. So I think we can go in this in confidence that even though we're not in front of our home fans, that we can get the result. And actually, we historically have a pretty good record at Villa Park.
Yeah, not in recent times. I think they've beaten us 6 games in a row.
What, at Villa Park?
No, just in general.
No, but at Villa Park, I think in the Premier League era, we have a pretty strong record there.
Yeah, but we've lost.
They can't have won 6 in a row.
We've lost 3 out of our last 4 games at Villa Park.
You include
the FA
cup games,
yeah,
a couple of cup games in there.
We've lost 3 out of our last 4 games at Villa Park. So recently,
But the other one we won 4-0.
Yeah, well, yeah, we did win 4-0 that. But so recently, I mean, Villa have not been a good game for us. We've lost 6 in a row against them, which is mad.
Yeah, but a lot of the players who won in that 4-0 are still here, probably. Actually, how many actually going to be playing? Probably not that many.
So that lineup was Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogi, Bissouma Sarr, Decky, Madders, Johnson, and Son. It's about half the team still there. But there are more players still available than the ones that lost against Aston Villa, not the ones that won 4-0 there.
Look, okay, recent times that they've done pretty well against us. I'm just saying, Villa Park historically has been a pretty good place for us.
Yeah, like from 22 before and prior, we were very good at Villa Park.
I feel like we always seem to play pretty well against Villa, even when we lose. I feel.
I don't know. I remember going there last year in the Cup, and I thought we were tragic that day with Matisse Tell. Was it his debut? He scored.
Yeah, that was a difficult one. But I thought in the Cup this year we should have got some. We might have been able to win
at Tottenham.
I know we were 2-0 down, but we should have turned
second
that around.
half we were decent. Yeah,
we played well. I thought early in the season we lost them with a late goal, but again I thought that was quite an even game. Played fairly well in that game. Last season
we were terrible.
We beat them 4-1 at the Lane.
Yeah, I'm talking about Villa Park. We were terrible.
Villa Park, yeah, but again, we weren't interested in that game. But yeah, we won good. No, actually, if you remember that game, a lot of people were praising us in that game because we defended really well for like an hour. And we actually kept them really quiet before, obviously, they got their goal. But we were But again, it wasn't like the worst performance actually. But again, it was a game where we rested a lot of players.
Yeah.
Season before that, obviously we won 4-0 at Villa Park, and then at home we battered them and somehow contrived to lose that game. I remember we had loads of chances. I think Son had a hat-trick of offside goals.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of
this game Bentancur got. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of the games we've actually played quite well, and maybe they've gotten quite fortunate, Villa, to win a lot of the majority of those games.
Look, give me Villa playing better than us and getting the 3 points any day. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how we play. We just need to get the result. We need to put those moments away. We need to get those moments, and we need to stamp our authority from set pieces. That's where we're going to win this game. And I really do believe that the implications of the second leg next week is going to be massive. I really do. I think it's going to play so much into this game. Because surely if you're a Villa player, what do you care about this game? Like, all your head is going to be in the second leg, especially after losing 1-0 in the first leg. I didn't see the game, so I don't know in the manner of the defeat was or anything like that, or how the game went, or if Villa deserved anything more out of it or whatever. But surely their heads are just going to be there on Thursday night.
I think in these scenarios, I feel like that tends to happen more later in the game, like depending on how the game's going. Obviously, once the game starts, you're trying to win the game, but depending on how the game's going, if they're losing by a goal or two going into the last 15, 20 minutes, all of a sudden your head, I think, starts to go, maybe we should just move on from this and full focus on that semi-final, because that's the more important game. And all of a sudden your performance can peter out. But I wouldn't hold too much for the first hour or so. I'm sure they're gonna, obviously we need to be in the lead. If they're winning, they're gonna do everything they can to hang on to it or win the game. I feel like what will most likely happen is they'll try and I think Unai's done this a lot, by the way. They try and score early. They try and get in a commanding lead, and then second half just sit off a bit and invite that pressure. A lot of the time they do succumb to the pressure, but are we going to be good enough to exploit that? At the moment we have to see. But I've seen it with Unai Emery so often. Like, they give it a real good go in the first half, and then second half they just sit off a bit and invite the pressure and just sit in a bit more of a lower block and don't really go full on gung ho. So let's just hope we don't give them that advantage in that first half. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and I think that's where Spurs have actually been quite good since De Zerbi has come in terms of looking like a solid outfit, looking organised, something that we just didn't look under Igor Tudor by any stretch of the imagination. We were conceding 3-4 goals a game. Now we're conceding 2-3 chances a game, never mind goals. So I know we conceded 2 against Brighton, but Sunderland, they barely laid a glove. We've been talking about how unbusy Kinski's been since coming in, and that's a testament to the way De Zerbi has set us up and how organised we actually look.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Villa, they're a team that you can keep the ball against, but if they're obviously when their press is on it, they are quite difficult. But I think they're one of those teams who they congest the pitch, but they can leave a lot of space in behind. So it's all about whether we have the players to find those runners and find the space. And you saw in that game when they played Sunderland, look how much space they left for the Sunderland goals. It was ridiculous. And this is a Sunderland team, by the way. They're not the most creative. They're not the best at creating chances.
They scored 3 goals that day.
They scored 3 goals, and they had that 1-on-1 to go 4-3 up just before they lost it. So if a team like Sunderland can exploit them with their kind of attack, there's no reason why we can't create chances.
The thing is, though, Sunderland have had a better defence than us all season and conceded 4 goals.
It's also true. Look, Villa also one of those teams where they go through these. They can hit you like 2 or 3 quick goals and all of a sudden be out of sight, and they can be very difficult to deal with as well.
Do you think that they will start with their best players? Ollie Watkins, Morgan Rogers, these kind of guys?
I think it'll be a mix and match. I think they'll rest players for sure.
I think Tammy Abraham starts up front.
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho maybe on the wing. Players that haven't really been doing it for that. And I think that'll be a major positive for us.
What's interesting is I was reading a stat posted by a Villa fan. When 2 of Kamara, Tielemans and Onana have started, they have something like a 65% win rate. When only one of them has started, that drops to 25%. Now, Kamara's injured, and Onana went off injured against Forest. So likely 2 of the 3 are going to be missing, which is where their win
Don't
percentage
start
drops.
with the Dr. Tottenham narrative.
Just saying.
Don't start with the Dr. Tottenham narrative.
Just saying. All of a sudden, we could. I think Bogard came on against.
Now
Forest.
tell us our win stats with and without Javi.
No, I'm not talking about our win stats. It's not about us. I'm just talking about Villa. They don't win as many games when they don't have 2 of those 3 starting.
Yeah.
So it does really affect them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they play with
Fair
that
point.
mid-block, so there's a lot of focus on that midfield, that middle bit for them.
Yeah. So Onana's probably going to be out for the game. Is Camera fit?
I don't think so. I think he's been out for a while, hasn't he? I think he got injured against us. He got a
Right.
serious injury, didn't he? In that
And
knee
who's
injury.
the other player you said?
Tielemans.
He's fit.
He's fit. He played.
So we're expecting him to
unless
be the
they
only
want to
one
rest him
fit.
unless they want to rest him because he's that important.
Who else can they play in the middle of the park?
I guess you can put McGinn there, but they played him on the wing. They played him on the wing against Forest.
They've been playing Ross Barkley a lot recently.
Ross Barkley.
Douglas Luiz.
He did come on. That's true.
Emi Buendia.
They could play Louise and Tielemans. I've got a feeling they go Louise and Bogard and try and rest Tielemans because Tielemans is so important for Thursday.
So if we just have a look at their lineup that they played against Nottingham Forest. So they went Onana, Tielemans, Rogers in the 10, Buendia and McGinn on the wings, Luca Dean, Pau Torres, Consa, Cash and Martinez. Out of that starting lineup, how many start, do you reckon?
I reckon Martinez starts. I reckon Cash slightly starts.
Not Martin Bizot?
Not Martin Bizot. I reckon Cash starts. I reckon Maatsen on the left. I reckon Mings and Consa will play. I reckon a midfield 2 of Louise and Bogard. And I reckon the front 3 will be Sancho, Rogers.
You think Rogers starts?
I think Rogers starts. And probably McGinn again. And then Tammy Abraham up front.
I mean, that is a fairly
Strong team.
second string team, though.
Still strong, but it is second string, as we've said. We've said it before. Is their second string better than our first team? Probably. But even though that's pretty half-half, I would say. And I think it's a good enough team to beat us, but it's also nowhere near as good as, not as good as what their first choice would be. And the focus would be winning that midfield battle.
Oh, man.
That's what I would predict their lineup to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not sure. In terms of the players that they had on the bench, what do you not think Leon Bailey? Or did you say Bailey?
I didn't say Bailey. I don't think he starts. He might start. I don't think they start both Sancho and Bailey. I reckon only one of them, but I might be wrong.
Bailey's only been coming off the bench. Last game he started was at home to Chelsea when they lost 4-1.
They might make some early subs, like bring Rodgers off on the hour.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Yeah, exactly. I think they might actually go a bit stronger than maybe anticipated. And then in the last half an hour to go, regardless of what the score is, they might make some changes and significant changes.
I think there's a bit. You can go either way. You can either rest players and if need, bring them on if need be, or start strong and take them off if they're getting tired. I mean, it could go either way. And what was their? Let me see. What lineup did they go with in the last Premier League game?
They went strong. They went in a similar lineup, very similar lineup to the Sunderland game. Oh, I was looking at the Sunderland game, not the Fulham game, but I think that was similar
Fulham
as well.
was they started Bogard and Tielemans,
Yeah,
and then other than that, it's unchanged.
yeah.
So I think even more so, the fact they went unchanged will mean that third game they will probably make a few changes.
They have to, surely.
They will. I think they will make a few changes. But I think it'll be a bit of a mix and match.
Look, it's going to be a difficult game regardless. Whether they make changes, whether they don't make changes. Even if they have their eye off the ball a little bit, it's still going to be a really difficult game because of the way Spurs are coming into the game. So we just need to have our wits about us. We need to carry on with this great organisation and structure that we've had, not conceding too many chances. And we've got to try and nick a few down the other end. What are they like at conceding?
Against Sunderland, they made a few changes.
What are they like at defending set pieces at Aston Villa? That's what I want to
They're
know.
good at scoring them. I know. Well, they used to be good at scoring them. At defending set pieces, I don't know where you'd see those stats. Set piece.
Well, against Sunderland, they had Mings at the back and Matson, Onana, Tielemans, and then Barkley in the 10.
Yeah, so they rested a few players. Again, it was a bit of a mix and match.
I'll be disappointed if their team's stronger than that.
I anticipate something similar to that. Maybe. Let's see. Set pieces. Here we go. Goals. They are in the top half of goals scored. Doesn't say conceded.
Go to defending, no?
Where's defending?
It says attacking on the top. There's a drop-down bar.
Ah, yeah. Set pieces. They're about
mid-table.
10 goals conceded from
About
set
mid-table.
pieces.
Because I do believe that's where we're going to get our goals on the weekend. Unless we can start fast, because we have been looking good in the opening 10, 15 minutes of games. If we can score in that period, I think that will do us the world of good. But can you envisage us getting back in the game if we concede early? I just can't see it.
That's the thing. Obviously, we've said it so many times, we haven't won a game when we've been behind this season. And Villa are quite good at managing games, I felt. I mean, they do let teams back in it as well, but they are quite good at also regaining control. He's a very good tactician, Unai Emery. Obviously, we do not have great options off the bench, especially attacking-wise. So if the team we start with isn't good enough to take advantage and we're behind, do we have the players on the bench to change it in a good enough way to actually turn it around and win the game? I question that. Do we have players to come on and keep a result? I think we have those players. But do we have players to come on and change a game to win us a game? That's what I worry about.
Yeah. So I think the first half is going to be vitally important.
Yeah, agreed.
Vitally important.
And especially as well, given the fact that they've got another semi-final, they played on Thursday as well. Will they start to tire a bit come the second half? I think keeping them at bay, even if it's 0-0 half time, that could be big for us.
I agree. Man, it's going to be an absolute roller coaster this weekend. Like I mentioned, the games that are coming this weekend, so vital. I think I'm not expecting Spurs to win this weekend, obviously, for obvious reasons. But I think we can win this weekend with everything going into it.
It's given us a chance, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And look, like I said before, this game is not going to be at the forefront of Villa's players and fans' mind. So we just need to go in there, concentrate on ourselves, and hopefully be able to get some sort of edge. You know, we spoke about in the Wolves game. I know it's a very different game, but the how much it means if a team wants it more than the other team. And surely we're going to want this more than this Villa side going into it on Sunday. You've got to believe that.
Should mean more to us. It's
Much more
to us.
Much more to us. And also on the flip side of that, against Wolves, we played a team that's going to come up in a low block. We're not going to be playing a team that come up in a low block. We're going to play a team that is going to play a high line and will be able to get those high turnovers and press them high up the pitch. But they don't play the same way as Brighton, but it's more similar to Brighton than it is to Wolves. So there are going to be opportunities for us on the day. Villa do give up opportunities. It's just going to be up to us to take them.
I have a feeling, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Conor Gallagher has a pretty good record at Villa Park.
Does he?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
I'm just trying. I've got memories of Conor Gallagher scoring quite a few goals at Villa Park. Do you remember that, Sammy? I think didn't he score a few? I think so. I remember. Didn't he score a free kick at Villa Park?
No idea.
I think for Chelsea in his last two appearances. Here you go. What's this? Got They drew 2-2. There you go. He scored a goal in
Conor Gallagher.
2024.
Conor Gallagher record against Villa. He's played 10, 1-2, lost 2, 1-2, lost 4, drawn 4, with 2 goals.
2 goals.
Doesn't have a good record against them.
A couple of goals.
Yeah, but he's very rarely on the winning side against Villa.
I'm not saying I'm winning. Huh?
Scored the only goal in a 1-0 win against them in the FA Cup.
In the FA Cup, and then he scored. I remember in a 2-2 draw, a really nice goal. I remember he scored.
Yeah.
So he's got previous there, Conor Gallagher. He's got previous there.
Yeah, I don't think that means much, to be honest.
Why not? It's sometimes muscle memory when you've been at a ground before.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But look, we just need to get the result, man, by hook or by crook. Don't let us down, man. Take that manager fight from the press conference, the fight that he's showing on the training ground, and take that onto the pitch and just show the same fight that De Zerbi's showing right now, and I think we'll be all right. I do think we'll be all right if we show that level of fight.
Well, I think he's putting the good message into the players, and I think they're gonna take to that. And I think they've been really enjoying him and really enjoying his training sessions. I think that's been a lot of the reports at the moment, that they seem a lot more inspired, and it seems the training is much better than it was. And obviously on the pitch, we're seeing much better. We're seeing a lot better performances in general. So I think gives ourselves half a chance. Villa, whatever side Villa put out, it's going to be a very difficult game, and it's going to be very tough to win it. But imagine the confidence it would give them if we do win this game.
Yeah, I think if we win this game, we'll stay up. I genuinely believe that. Because if we win this game, regardless of the West Ham, let's say we win and West Ham win, fine, it's as you were. But then we play Leeds at home. That will give us so much confidence to play Leeds at home. The stadium's going to be buzzing. Leeds will probably be safe because they play Burnley. And then West Ham got to go play Arsenal. So there's the kind of opportunity where you can see. And if we win and West Ham drop points, then even more so. It compounds that, doesn't it? So I do think if we win this, we're going to stay up.
100, not 100%, but yeah, I think so. Especially if one of the other two drop points, I think it really gives us that little bit more momentum that we need. And especially, it's so important, I feel, after getting our first win, we back it up with something, because we can't let a momentum dissipate.
Yeah.
And especially as well, if we can back up the last one with another win off the back of getting 2 more injuries as well, the belief that we'll have in the camp is massive, absolutely massive.
Exactly.
You overcome that adversity.
Yeah.
It's absolutely enormous.
Exactly. So massive day. Sim will be in the studio on the watch along with a debutante watch along host. It goes by the name of Harry Scarf alongside Sim. I'll be there at Villa Park as well. It's going to be a long day on Sunday, 7 o'clock kickoff. So I've got to go through the whole weekend of football plus the whole day on Sunday and wait till 7 o'clock kickoff. So let us know your score predictions. What's your score prediction?
I am going to go 1-1.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 1-1.
I think in Predict the Prem we both predicted 1-1, didn't we?
I actually think us to lose.
You predicted us to lose. Oh, so
yeah.
you're going up on one.
Yeah, getting my Delulu on.
I see. You saw De Zerbi's press conference. You're like, we ain't fucking losing this one.
We ain't losing. We're getting something out of this. We're coming away with something. That's what I feel.
Kick your teacher said, you said 2-1, Sim, you flip-flop.
I said 1-0.
Now, I think we take a point from this game. I think it means a lot more from us. I think Villa are going to have one eye on that Europa League semi-final. I think Spurs can take something. So, yeah, I'm going 1-1. Sim's going 1-1. Let us know your predictions in the comments section below.